Happy beautiful day, Pete Cohen here, and this video is being made specifically for people who are of Generation X. Now, what is Generation X? Well, it is a term that is known for people that were born between 1965 and 1980. And I've been working in the field of health and fitness and well-being since 1989. And what I can see is the demographic that I have definitely worked more with. Even when I was a young guy working in the industry, working with particularly people that wanted to lose weight, the people I was working with were that bit older. They were at an age and stage in their life where they were ready for change. In fact, they'd been doing things for so long in a way that often hadn't worked that they were willing to look at things with a fresh pair of eyes. And what I do know about this demographic is that we've been through a lot. If you think about our lives and what we've seen happen from the rise of the internet to mobile phones to now being in this world that is full of artificial intelligence, our whole world has changed. We, like many other people, have been through COVID. COVID was a big wake-up call for many people to actually stop and to question their health, to question their well-being. It's pretty obvious that people that had underlying health conditions that maybe they didn't even know about, or they were aware of some of these conditions, that they were more likely to become unwell and even to die. And also this demographic is one that realizes that the end is in sight and that many people around us have passed away. Look, the reality of where we are right now with our health and our well-being is that there are 4 conditions that most people are going to experience unless they stop and do things differently. And that really is what this video is all about. It's me asking you to stop for a few moments and look at your health and your well-being with a fresh pair of eyes. The 4 health challenges that are most prevalent in society today is heart disease, number 1. Number 2 is cancer. Number 3 is neurological challenges, dementia, Alzheimer's. And number 4 is metabolic disorders, namely diabetes type 2. Now, what's really interesting about these conditions is they don't happen just overnight. There is an environment that is being created over time. In fact, now there's a new term in the medical literature that is known as diabetes type 3. And what this is really is dementia and Alzheimer's, these types of conditions that people are seeing being more prevalent in people that have had elevated blood sugar for an extended period of time. Now look, the reason I'm making this is, as I've already said, is do you have any desire at all to change the course of your life? Because health, really, to me, it means renewal. And renewing your health is something that, well, how often do you think you need to do that? Again, it's pretty obvious. It's every single day. Every day we need to renew our health by what we eat, how we drink, how we sleep, how we move, how we think, how we talk, and how we eliminate. And eliminate through going through the toilet, but also eliminate through breath. And this is what I want to do. I want to empower people like never before. Look, millions of people have seen me on television. Millions of people have watched many of my YouTube videos and read my books. But now I am more ready than I've ever been to create a revolution in this wellness space. So look, I started as a health and fitness instructor in 1989. And back then I was very insecure. I didn't know half of what I know now, but I had the enthusiasm to help people improve their health and fitness. But to me back then, health and fitness really was what you would do on the outside. And what you would do on the outside might make a difference on the inside. And now as I've gotten older, I realize that the greatest shifts that we're going to make is the shifts that we make internally in terms of how we think, and how we view our health and our well-being. Because well-being or wellness, what it really means is it's our ability, it's what we do deliberately to prolong our life and prevent disease. And there is a term known as health span and lifespan. So lifespan is how long we might live, but health span is how long we'll live in a way that we can be healthy and well, where these diseases, like I've mentioned, they're known as the 4 horsemen of heart disease, of cancer, of neurological issues and metabolic issues, how long we can live free of those conditions. But the real challenge around all of this is most people are unaware of these things. You know, there's a story of Superman, right? Superman had an arch rival that was called Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor went round to Superman's house, this isn't a true story by the way, and took his weakness, which was kryptonite, and got it all filed it down into dust and put the dust all around Superman's house. And when Superman came back, he could sense that there was something not quite right, but he just carried on with his life, doing what superheroes do, doing the best work that he could in his life, but didn't realize that every single day he was going downhill because he didn't realize the impact of what was going on, what was in his environment. And for most of us, it's the same. Most of us don't know what's going on. That's why monitoring, and this is something I'm really into, is monitoring with the technology that now exists, where you can actually see aspects of your health. You can see how much you move, you can see how you sleep. But now there's glucose monitoring as well, which is about how much sugar is in your bloodstream. And whether we like it or not, sugar, or too much sugar, is a major risk factor for so many diseases. And of course, the way that we think, because what we think, we feel in our body. And most of the health challenges that we are facing have inflammatory aspects to them, where there's inflammation. And it's really about being healthy, it's about minimizing inflammation. It's not just about what you eat and how you sleep. It's also about how you manage emotion, how you manage being in the world that you're in. And this is a huge opportunity for us to stop and improve our well-being. So if I was going to ask you what will be the greatest thing you ever do, how many of you would say the greatest thing you will ever do will be who you become? There is this another story, now this isn't true, but I like that, by the way, the Superman story also isn't true, but the story of what happens to certain types of eagles, that when they get to a certain age in their 30s and 40s, they have to bang their head against something to break off their beak so their beak can regrow. It's the same with their talons, they have to rip them out, and the same with their feathers, because they have to go through this process of reinvention. And through going through it, they can live long, long, long lives. Now, apparently that's not true, but I like the story. And I think that's the same with us. Not that we necessarily have to go through loads of pain. In fact, it's pain and disasters and traumas and prognoses that happen that often wake people up, that then they decide to change their health. We don't have to wait for that. And some of this technology that exists now is really helpful at helping us look at this differently. But there is a key element of all of this, and that's about us taking responsibility for what's going on. We can live in denial about all of this, or we can wake up and be curious and think, you know what, I do want to take responsibility. And I promise you that changing all of this, it's challenging, but it's not impossible. And often it is about doing small things consistently over an extended period of time. But I'd love to invite you to come on that journey with me, because this is what I've dedicated my life to. Some people who follow me know that my wife passed away in 2023 after she'd been given 18 months to live in 2011. And we looked outside the box. We looked outside the box for what could be done. My wife used to smoke. She used to drink. This was before we were married. This was before the day before she found out that she had a brain tumor. The day before she was smoking and drinking. But boy, waking up to the fact of a brain tumor, she immediately changed her diet. She immediately changed her lifestyle. And I believe in what she did, it gave her some incredible extra years of health and well-being. We don't have to wait for these things to happen. There are a few key elements. Definitely a supportive environment. I think that really helps, where you know there are other people getting the right information, because there's so much information out there. It's so confusing as to what to eat, when to eat, how to sleep better, how to move better. But there's never been a better time. There's never been a better time for human beings to grasp the opportunity that we have to use this thing in more intelligent, thoughtful ways. So if you want to join me in this revolution and look to master these 7 key areas, this is something that we've written extensively about eating right, about drinking right, about thinking right, about moving right, about talking right, about sleeping right, and eliminating right. When I say right, your right is actually my left if I'm standing opposite you, because I'm not saying there is one right way. The right way is your way, and that's what I'm committed to do, to help people like you find your way. That's who I am. I am a coach, and the role of a coach is to help someone go from where they are to where they're capable of being. In fact, think of me like a friend of the person that you could become. To me, that person already exists. And I've come from that friend saying, hey, let's wake up. Let's do this great thing of improving our health and improving our well-being. I want to thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart, which is getting stronger every single day. And I look forward to working with you. Take care and speak soon.